The Mayor last week, again trying to step up pressure on national government to end delays in granting expanded policing powers to city police. Geordin Hill-Lewis, the Mayor. Geordin, good afternoon.
John, I sincerely apologize for missing our slot on Friday. It's not my style, but I was caught up in another interview that ran over.
Yes, I understand you were being interviewed for your suitability to stand as a mayoral candidate in the elections at the end of the year. And I thought, surely, given the job he's done, he needs a short interview, not an extended one. But anyway, let's go on to the topic of today, of the discussion. I presume, Geordin, that you were prompted to go public again on the basis of what all of us have taken note of with raised eyebrows, the police minister admitting that SAPS doesn't have the capacity to defeat gangs.
Yes, exactly. I saw that and was taken aback by that statement, not because it isn't true or that we don't know that already. We actually do know that, and credit to him for saying it out loud. But it is still a frank and quite alarming admission or confirmation of that which we know. And it seemed like an opportune time to remind him again that there are those draft regulations sitting on his desk. They have been there for many months now, gathering dust, and he just needs to page to the last page, affix his signature, and we can start to do something about this.
Just remind us, because so much happens and we tend to put things at the back of our brain and need to bring them to the front again. Who drew up those regulations and what, in summary, do they say?
We did. We remember there was an indication from him that he was open to the idea of devolution, of giving us the power to investigate these crimes. And so we drafted a set of regulations which are, in the right format, properly legally drafted and really ready to go for him to agree to. And that is what we've been waiting for an answer on for a long time now, too long. So I have the Premier and I have got a meeting with him next week where we hope this will come to a head.
Okay, and I mean, you drew up the regulations, but all you've had from National Ministry is an acceptance of the idea of devolution power. So you have no idea whether the detail as set out in the regulations that you've drawn up will meet the approval of the police minister. Does he need to consult with the head of the police at national level, who's too busy appearing before commissions to have much time available for such consultations? I mean, how would you regard the status of those regulations?
Well, we've had lots of warm words, lots of supportive words, lots of warm feelings, but no action. And the request has always been for time to do that consultation, to consult with the police management, to consult with the national commissioner, I presume, to consult with his political colleagues and whomever else, and then get back to us. And that just hasn't happened. And to be clear, it's not his. This started literally 2.5, 3 years ago with 2 ministers ago now. So it's been a long time coming, and we have given, I think, really over the top amount of time for consultation and consideration. We've really tried to do this in the most collegial way possible, but we really do just need a yes or no now. And if it's no, fine, then we'll know what to do as the next step. We're preparing and ready for that. Hopefully it's yes, so that we can go on and get busy.
The next step would be in terms of an intergovernmental dispute declaration, or the next step in saying, okay, we have to do more with the regulations as they are at the moment, or perhaps both.
No, look, we've hit the limit of, we do not have investigative powers, so we've hit the limit of what we can do in the existing regs. But we are at the ready. We've done all the background preparation so that if it is a yes, and I sincerely hope it's a yes, we can immediately begin hiring detectives in the city and building our investigative capacity and start investigating gun crimes and ensure, take them through to prosecution. If it is a no, we are also...
Just before we get to if it's a no, I mean, if it is a yes and you go this way, and you mentioned gun crime, that would be the prime focus of... Okay.
At first we said, obviously we do not have the capacity to investigate all crime, But let's help investigate the thing that is causing the most distress and the most violence in Cape Town, and that is firearms crime. So we will focus in on that and start taking some of those cases for which there is an abysmally low conviction rate of only 5% at the moment, and try to raise that significantly. And we really are confident that we can raise that conviction rate significantly. And, it go figure, there is a strong correlation between arresting and convicting people responsible for drug crime and bringing down gun violence.
And the link between establishing between that aim, let's say for the sake of our discussion, that you realize that aim, that you are able to register more gun cases and have them successfully prosecuted because of the quality of the detection work that has gone into them.
Yes.
What's the link then between reducing this stranglehold that gangs have on too many communities across Cape Town?
Well, the practical outworking of that, the manifestation of that, is through gun violence, and our officers routinely arrest the same people over and over again, 3 times, 4 times, 7 times, and so on, and they are just recycled through the system and back out onto the streets, and that is the cycle that we have to break by getting successful convictions that can actually see them removed from the streets and put away.
Obviously, criminal investigation, criminal prosecution is part of a strategy to defeat gangs, but it can't be the only plank in a strategy. And we've got a couple of minutes before news. So, what else is the city doing, and perhaps could the city be doing more of in a whole of society approach? Because gangs are more attractive than other options for too many. I mean, I know that some people are, maybe a lot of people are suborned into gang membership. They don't go there as free-spirited volunteers, but the gang lifestyle is an attractive option for too many youngsters in too many parts of Cape Town. So, what are you doing to reduce the allure of the gang?
Well, the thing that I'm most passionate about is high quality community facilities that provide particularly young children and particularly young boys with healthy physical alternatives to occupy their time and to keep them interested and engaged. And so we've put a lot of effort into better sports facilities, new sports facilities. We've opened really beautiful sports complex in the heart of Manenberg called the Greens. Got all of our swimming pools fixed up and running again for the first time in many years. We're fixing all of our soccer fields and rolling out many new ones, including in Bishop Lavis and Mandela Park in Khayelitsha, really gang-hit communities. And, I remember we had one speaker at the Manenberg launch in particular of this new complex, the Greens, who said that soccer had saved his life because it had given him a healthy outlet and had kept him out of gangs. And I think that's a really important plank. Of course, the growing economy is a very important plank.
And there, Geordin, I'm afraid we have run out of time, but thank you very much for sharing those thoughts with us. Geordin Hill-Lewis, the Mayor of Cape Town.